Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today we're driving to Vero Beach, Florida. That's about midways down the state. We're actually going to replace a sump pump. But what I want you to see is a French drain that lasts forever. Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. We are down here in Vero Beach where we did a job about 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. Take a look at this. This is how you build a French drain that really has a good chance of lasting forever. So remember how this system actually works. Let me go over it with you real quick. Perforated pipe, French drain. This is French drain, and it's really cool because it's all contained. What this is 4-inch perforated pipe surrounded by styrofoam packing peanuts, although these aren't regular peanuts. These are really dense and they won't crush or anything, but they allow water to pass through. It's also encased in a fabric which keeps the soil out. So as groundwater rises, okay, that's usually the problem in most places. Rises up, it goes through the voids of the aggregate, which is the styrofoam peanuts, the packing peanuts, and then it goes into the pipe, which has holes all the way around it, perforated pipe. That picks up groundwater. Catch basins, they grab immediate surface water runoff. So as water comes, down from that little garden bed down into our trench, it'll drop into the catch basins, and then of course it's carried away through the system. Two things that you need. You've got to have some type of water collection that's picking up the groundwater. That's your French drain. And you also have to have the catch basins. Very important. So the next part of building a French drain that is you try to make last forever is, number one, we need to add gravel. So we're going to add the gravel over top of the easy flow and bring that gravel right up to grade. And you can see here on the install it started to rain, and you can watch the water go right through the gravel down into the system. The second part is we want to change those grates to what's called an atrium grate, and that allows debris to build higher up onto the grate and still provide drainage. This is really key because the catch basin collects that immediate surface water runoff. All of this drain goes over to a sump pump. Remember, that's why we came down here, was to replace the sump pump. Let's take a look at the system today, 5 years later. We installed this drain back in October of 2018, or maybe it was 2017. So it was very soon after this video was posted that a guy has started a YouTube channel and really began to badmouth Apple drains, starting with this video, saying that this is not how a French drain works, it will never work, it'll last a year, so on and so on. So I really wanted to show everyone, does a French drain last forever? Well, this one's 5 years old and totally overgrown. It's been 5 years and this system, look at it, it's overgrown. And what we've got gravel, and down underneath the gravel there is easy flow, and it's encased in gravel. There's no fabric around this. We added the catch basins. Like I said, if you put a French drain in, you need a catch basin. We added the atrium grates because I knew they wouldn't take care of the area, and you can see how the debris has built up all around the atrium on both of them. Take a look at the other one. They are functioning 100% just like day one. What happens here is not only is this lot higher than this one, but they've got their roof coming down and it all drops right down into the gravel and is carried away. Before, this would flood right up underneath of the home and was just a total moldy mess. You had to replace all the floors inside. This solved the problem. So before I replace that sump pump, let's go ahead and test that line from the carport. I'm going to go ahead and just put the garden hose in, and you can see that water comes straight out. There is no garbage in that line. That line works 100%. Just like it did from the first day that we installed. So what we're looking at is a sump pump that we installed about 5 years ago. and you can see line comes up, it's got a check valve, and it's running out front. They say it's not working. So I just checked the power, and there is no power to the pump. In other words, the pump is not working. So I'm going to take this check valve off right here, pull the pump, and see what we got. So we really need to know, why did this pump go bad? Because honestly, these pumps just don't go bad. I mean, they can last 10, 15, 20 years. So let's go ahead and pull this pump out of here, take a look at it. We'll replace the pump with a brand new Zoller M98 and test the line and see what's going on here. This is the Zoller M98 that we installed 5 years ago. We need to find out why it burned out. What happened to it? I think I have hundreds of videos showing you how to replace or install a sump pump. But basically what I need to do is I need to use the same parts that were on the original pump. That reason is because it will set up the same way. In other words, it will fit exactly onto the check valve, which is leading out to the front. It makes it really easy to do. We screw the 1.5-inch male threaded adapter down into the port of the pump. Next, we'll go ahead and put the riser together. And what I'm doing is I'm just using a no-hub clamp. And a no-hub means just that. There's no coupling that we need to glue. We can easily take it apart many times with these clamps. I'm going to tighten this clamp up, and then we'll stick the rest of this together because it's going to fit exactly the way it was. We can set the pump down in there and test the pump. And remember, what we need to do is find out, why did this pump go bad? Zoller pumps usually last 10 to 15 years. This one lasted 5 years. But why did it go bad? Let's find out. So you can see everything set up exactly the same way. Really simple. Tighten up this clamp to the check valve, and we'll be able to test this pump and find out what's going on. You will notice that I'm taking a little bit extra time to make sure that that cord does not get stuck on the float. Once we're done with that, we'll plug it in, and this water will disappear in a matter of seconds. There she goes. Took that water right out. Let's put the garden hose in there and double check the outlet of this thing. So we'll let that fill up. I'll take the GoPro out front and see if we can find this discharge. So here's our original discharge from when we installed this 5 years ago. And it just came up here out at the front of the driveway and discharged down the hill over to a swale, which led to a storm drain. But it looks like they've added some gravel here along the walk, and you can see where that water's coming up. So it looks like it discharges right here. Let me dig this up a little bit with a shovel and see what's right there. So here's the discharge, and you can see it's just full of rocks. Try to get these rocks out of here. Pieces of broken grate. Something you just have to do, right? So now we know why that pump burned out. The discharge was totally blocked. It had tree roots in it. I cleaned the line, and now I'm pulling out the rocks. And what we'll do is we'll add an atrium grate here to the end.
Then we have a brand new discharge there. I'll throw the rocks back up on here and we're good to go. And that drain comes right over here. You can see it. Been in there 5 years, working really good. Float's about ready to kick on. We're about ready to put all this back together. Really, the pump just burned out. 5 years, there it goes. Look how quick that water disappears. Wow. Perfect. I think this is one of the greatest examples of a French drain and how it works, how it's maintained. You can see people don't maintain their French drains, and it's so sad. Look how overgrown this is. But you know what? It still works. There is no garbage getting down through this drain. Those catch basins are doing their job. The French drain itself, the perforated pipe surrounded by the aggregate, is doing its job. What a great system. One final note. I do feel sorry for some of these other companies that try to badmouth Apple drains because all they're doing is ruining their reputation. They actually buy ads. You can bid to be on someone's channel, be on their video, and they actually buy ads trying to promote their videos to get views. It's really sad. So if you're watching one of Apple Drain's videos and you see an ad for another company, try to remember that their company's probably failing and it's not doing very well. So they're doing everything they can to try to get views on their channel. And it's just too bad that they badmouth Apple Drains. So, can a French drain really last forever? Well, here's a great example of one that is totally overgrown, 5 years old, and it worked so good. And yeah, the discharge line went bad and the pump burned out, but the French drain is still working just like day one. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.
Hi, my name is Paul Rinkins, owner of Drip Dry Drainage in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am happy to announce that I am partnering with Apple Drains and we will be installing all parts of the rainwater systems in Charlotte, North Carolina.